Hi Flosstube, I'm Kayla, the Hufflepuff Stitcher, and welcome to my channel. As you can see, we are joined today by Luna. Well, we were joined by Zelda. She's decided that apparently since I'm talking now, she wants to dig through her basket of toys. I guess we'll find out shortly what the toy of the day will be. Today I have got for you some whips. I've got plans, one little item of haul that showed up in the mail, and then we've got our giveaway winner. So, jump right in. This past week in the School of Magical Stitches and Literature, it was just chaos around the castle. So, we had 3 different prompts that we were given to work on. Sorry, Zelda's... I'm not sure what she's doing over there. Anyway, so we were given 3 different prompts that we could work on. The first one that I did was for the Fat Lady Vanishing. She was in her portrait, and then after being attacked, she vanished from the portrait and had to be found around the castle. But for that task, what we had to work on was something that was 75% done or more. So what I chose to do for this one was my Riolis hedgehogs. I will insert a picture of where it was last week here, and this is how far I got. So I did finish my 300 stitches. Again, still just up here in that corner, but I am getting really close to finishing that upper corner there. And it's really nice to just see how quickly this one comes together when you sit down to work on it. The next task from last week was for Snape abandoning the lesson plans. He was substituting for Defense Against the Dark Arts, and he decided he was going to do his own thing and not pay attention to what Professor Lupin had left. So for this one, we had to work on a project that we changed in some way or other. And what I worked on was my Lizzie Kate ABCs of Faith, and I chose to work on this one because I'm changing anything that's white, so any of these little white motifs there, I've got to change those because I was silly and started this on white fabric. Also, toy of the day, looks like a not yet destroyed tennis ball. And I am also moving the motifs around, that way they're not splitting up the sayings. I've got them in between the sayings rather than in the middle of them, if that makes sense. So this is where I was last time. And this is how far I got. So I actually got a lot done on this. Like I've said before, this is a project that kind of sits in my little whip jail. So it's really thanks to this group that it's getting any love. And I'm hoping that by the time the end of the year rolls around, this will be done and I won't have to work on it anymore. And I'm just stubborn. I know that I started this. I'm determined to finish it. But this is a great way to make some progress on here. The last task that we did last week had to do with Dementors being around the castle, and with them being around, they're causing Harry, at least, to black out. So we had to do stitches on dark threads. So what I chose to do for this one was my Hade, which I forgot to grab a picture of the final image, but I can insert a picture here of where I was last time. And this, whoop, a little messy there, is where I am now. So I know I had said that I wanted to start working a bit over with this area. We're finally starting to get into the top part of the crest itself rather than just background stuff. But I didn't want to have to figure out which threads counted as dark threads and which ones were too light to count as dark. So just to make it easy, I did my stitches in 310 because it does not get any darker than just a solid black. Also, fun fact, I am very happy that I sewed together a little case to store this in, because as I had mentioned last week, we had family over and somebody spilled coffee on it. So thankfully I had sewn this little cover to keep it in with like a waterproof lining from those waterproof sheets that you can use on beds. Kept it safe. I did not have anything that actually got on my project itself because I would have been devastated. So if you have any kind of project at all that's not in some type of protective covering, make something or get something. That just saved me so much trouble. What else did I work on? I worked on some extra credit as well this past week. So, like I had mentioned, I had girls' weekend last week with my mom, my sister, and then my sister's daughter, who's a whopping year old. So, needless to say, she didn't do any crafting, but the rest of us did. So, girls' weekend, what I chose to bring with me was my Waves Galore piece by the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery, which I didn't print out a final image. All I've got is a pattern, so I'll hold it back here. But it says Sun, Shore, and Waves Galore. I brought that with me up to Ludington for Girls' Weekend, and I was able to get 2 extra credit tasks done on this one. The first one that I chose to do was for the year-long extra credit, which is 1,000 stitches. This one, I did the 7 prisoners in Malfoy's Manor. And the way that I made this work is the 7 prisoners, when they are freed, when they're rescued, they're brought to Shell Cottage, which is on the beach. It's on the coast. So, granted, that part of the book is a very dark, sad time, but it's still at a beach. So that is how I made that one work. The other task that I did was just the monthly extra credit, which was 500 stitches. And for that task, I had this as being set somewhere non-local. Because here in Michigan, just this past week, we got snow again. Looking at the forecast this morning, it was showing snow for this coming week. So obviously, somewhere warm and sunny is going to be not local to where I currently live. So I got 2 extra credit prompts done on this. I'm going to show you one more thing that I did and then move into the plans. This one's not necessarily Stitchy related, but it's a finish of sorts. For Girls' Weekend, my mom really has discovered the joy of painting. She likes to do acrylic painting, and there is this YouTuber who is the Art Sherpa. I will link her below, but she's pretty much like a wine and canvas that you can do at home. So she gives you the step-by-step directions, how to do a painting, what colors to use, what brush size, walks you through it step by step. So if you've ever been to a wine and canvas, it's essentially like that, but you can do it at home. So what we all worked on, so my mom, my sister, and I, we all did little Easter paintings. We called this one our bunny butt painting because we've got a big old bunny butt. I personalized mine by adding one of Zelda's blue racket balls flying through the air. I decided this was going to be my backyard that the bunny was in. But like I said, not stitchy, but still a finish. We did painting. Okay, so moving into this coming week's plans. We need to work on 2 projects that are fighting for our attention. So really it's just any 2 projects that you just really want to stitch on. And the first one is this one. I really like working on this. It gives me those warm, sunny thoughts of what I'm not getting here in Michigan right now. What I do not know, though, is this week we need to do 500 stitches on each of those 2 projects that are fighting for our attention. And I don't know if there's 500 left on this. If there's not a full 500 and I get this finished without getting enough stitches to count, Then I will probably add some more to my Riolis hedgehogs. But that is what I'm planning on for the first item that I'll be working on this week. The next one that is fighting for my attention is the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Pumpkinville stitch along that's going on. And I haven't started it yet for this month, but April's block has been released. So my plan is to get a start going in the April block. And there's guaranteed more than 500 stitches for the April block. So that won't be a problem with getting that done. The only thing that would really stand in my way of getting the homework completed this week is that my husband and I will be traveling at the end of the week, which I will get into later, but we won't be home. And I haven't decided yet what exactly I want to bring with me. Probably some type of small, but the only true small that I've got going right now is this one, which if I already have it finished for homework, then I won't be able to bring it with me to work on, but I don't want to risk not getting the homework done. Not that there's any penalties, of course. This is all just for fun. So if you don't get stitching, it's no biggie. You can't lose points. The only thing you can do in this group is earn points. I may try and get another one in that series. I did go to Goodwill this week, and I actually found something that I think could work for finishing these on. I found this at Goodwill. It's scratched up, very teenagery, but is only $1. So looking at the size of this, it looks like could work out pretty well. Obviously, would need to be centered, but I'm planning on doing a bunch of them from the Seasonal Sayings series, and then doing kind of a Priscilla type finish with sticking the magnets on the back and then swapping them out for the seasons. So if this is finished and I need a small to bring with me on the plane, I will be probably just picking up another one of the sayings. They're pretty cheap. They're only like $5. So nothing too bad. Of course, it's digital download, so don't have to wait for it to show up in the mail, anything like that. Yeah. So what I got in the mail this week, my little bit of haul that I got, I ordered this a few weeks ago, got it in. I got a new project bag. This one was made by Jenn at Darkside Bags. Which there is her little logo there. I know that she started an Etsy shop, but from what I've seen, her Etsy shop is on a vacation right now. It's really her Instagram that she's been selling these through. So you can check out her Instagram. She is Dark Side of the Pumpkin. That is all one word. So the dark side of the pumpkin. But this one is a little Hufflepuff bag, which I thought was absolutely perfect to keep my project in for School of Magical Stitches and Literature. And I admit I cheated. There is the unofficial Flosstube rule of not using your things before you show them in the video. I've been using it all week. But you know what? There's no cross-stitch police, so I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. But I absolutely love it. Jenn, I don't know if you watch my videos at all, but if you do, thank you. This was beautifully made. And you guys should absolutely go check out her Instagram. For Girls Weekend, we brought our Flosstube Stanley, which if you're not sure who Flosstube Stanley is, check out my previous video. I explain the whole concept. Basically, I work at a learning center with students. We read the story Flat Stanley, and I thought it would be fun to make a little Flosstube Flat Stanley to send around the cross-stitch community. So we brought him up north to Ludington, and I'll be inserting some pictures. So he got to check out Lake Michigan up there, which the Great Lakes are big enough where you cannot see the other side of it, so it really has the appearance of an ocean, although it's all fresh water, in case you've never been to any of the Great Lakes before. He also got to explore around Kalamazoo a bit. My niece and I brought him out, the nieces who were visiting from across the state. We brought them out and took pictures of him around Kalamazoo. And we took some pictures of him in Parchment as well, which is the little town near Kalamazoo where my husband and I live. And he is now happily in the mail heading to his next stop. If you would like to follow along with his journey at all, or if you would like to host him yourself, definitely follow the hashtag on Instagram. It is hashtag Flosstube Stanley. Of course, all one word. He will be traveling essentially from person to person. So he's not coming back here between each stop. Now, if there's someone who doesn't know who to send him to or anything, of course, I have my email on the back of Stanley, and I'll get him sent back here, and then I'll send him out to somebody else who is interested in hosting him for a bit. But my students and I will be collecting some of the pictures. We'll be choosing one picture per stop that he goes to use around the giant map that we have in the office. And then we'll be making a scrapbook with any additional pictures. So definitely follow that hashtag, keep up with his travels if you are interested. And I'm sure at some point, if you would like him, he'll wind up visiting you. The last thing that I really have for today is the giveaway from last week. So last week we had Little House Needleworks. This is the Clockmaker, which is part of the Hometown Holiday series. It was the 2018 installment. And I will insert my picture here of the giveaway. Congratulations to Stitchy Pros. Holly, you have won this chart. So Holly, get a hold of me. Either email me at the email that is listed below or shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm the Hufflepuff Stitcher. That is all one word, the Hufflepuff Stitcher. And give me your address. I'll get this out in the mail to you. This week, I do not have a giveaway because I will not be making a video next week. As I had said, my husband and I will be traveling. It is on our bucket list to visit each of the 50 states, and we want to break a dumb law in each one. And this year's state happens to be Texas, so we'll be visiting some friends down in Texas, and we'll be able to break our dumb law. And before you go clutching your pearls, like, oh my gosh, you are such a bad person. We're not talking real laws. We're talking those silly ones that are in the law books for who knows what reason. So, for example, and I will be inserting pictures here, in Indiana, it is illegal to play cards. So my husband and I played Uno. In Kentucky, it is illegal to buy a hat without your husband's permission. So I bought a hat without my husband's permission. In Ohio, it is, oh goodness, what was it? Ohio. Ohio, it is illegal to pass a car without honking to make your presence known. So on the highway, we passed cars and did not honk to make our presence known. In Hawaii, it is illegal to put coins in your ears. So my husband and I put quarters sticking out of our ears. So we're talking silly stuff, nothing that's truly illegal. But that's just kind of the fun thing that we like to do. When we are in Texas, we are planning on breaking two laws. The first one is that in Austin, Texas, which is the first place we'll be going to, that's where our friends live, it is illegal to put wire cutters in your pocket. So we will be putting some wire cutters in our pocket. And then the other law is just a statewide one. It is illegal to take more than 3 sips of beer while standing at one time. So I don't like beer, and my husband doesn't drink. So this one's more one that I'd be breaking. He is not able to, unfortunately. But I will suck it up and take more than 3 sips of beer in one at a time while standing, just to break that law. So just for fun, guys, comment below, what are some of the dumb, silly laws where you live? I know Kalamazoo, Michigan, where we live, it is illegal to serenade your girlfriend. So anytime while we were dating that my husband would sing to me, we were being rebels. We broke the law. Man, we're going to be wanted in all 50 states by the time we're done with this. So much fun. But anyways, like I said, I will not be posting a video next week. We will be in Texas. The week afterwards, though, hopefully I'll be back. I'll probably have a pile of stitching to show you. And I believe that's all I've got for you this week. So until I see you next time, guys, keep it magical. Bye.